Hey there, this is YKG in Bloom, and my name is Tracy Martins. Thank you for joining me. Today I have Jen Wilkes on from Temple's Art. We are out at Open Air in Amherstburg on Dalhousie Street, and we are outside of Terra Green Gardens. And thank you so much for joining me, Jen. I appreciate it.
Me. Thanks. I'm excited.
So what is your art?
You know what? I do various kinds of painting. Whether it's watercolors. I like to use a fine liner when I do watercolors.
Okay.
I don't have any fancy training.
You don't need it.
Started about a year ago with Jodi, and Jodi had saw a couple of the pieces I had done. My husband and I am with J&J Temple Photography and more. And my husband has his art here, and Jodi said, why don't you bring a couple pieces and put it in the store? And that's where it started.
That's great.
Yeah.
So a hobby. Do you have it anywhere else?
No.
Any of your online?
I have pictures that I take online for those who are friends with me, but I'm working on the online part of it. But right now it's at the store, and I just tell people they can come to the store.
So, and it's easier when it's made to order, when it's at the store and you can take your time.
I say for anybody who's an artist who makes their own products, and I'm not trying to throw a bunch of people at Jodi, but I have to tell you, this has been the best way to get it out there. I probably, within the year, anywhere from 15 to 20 pieces. And they're nice. They could be anywhere from $25 all the way up to $130. I have a piece I worked on quite recently. It's a 24 by 24 big piece, and it's listed at $150. So everything's reasonably priced here.
Now, what is that piece?
It's flowers in a vase. I'm drawn more towards flowers than anything right now.
I really do like flowers.
And it's just where my art has taken me. You know what? I sit down, I work intuitively. I have trained with a couple of people, taken their courses, and I do enjoy that. But I try to always make it your own.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid, because you know what? Jodi gave me the courage to take the first step, which was putting it out there. And when people started to like it and buy it, I was like, wow, very inspired. And it does fill you with courage to just keep producing and do what you love to do. And that's really what it is. It comes from a love of doing it. I could get wrapped up in hours of doing art.
What medium do you use?
Well, typically, I started in acrylics because it's the easiest and it's the most forgiving. Yes. Honestly, I've painted, repainted, painted over. That's the thing about acrylics. It's so forgiving that you could just continue to work with it. It doesn't matter if you don't like a piece or it doesn't feel finished. You can continue to work on it until it gets to the point where it does feel finished and feels a certain way to you. But I have to say, I have a love for watercolors. Watercolors and fine line markers, for those who want to start there, it's beautiful. And I would encourage anyone, people who go, oh, I don't have an artistic bone in my body. That's not true. Take a picture, and even if you start with a coloring book, or you put a picture up against light and trace it out and start there. Yeah. And you'd be amazed how it goes. And it is a learning process.
It is. I used to, years and years ago when I was growing up, I used to take pictures that I liked, and I would sit there and I would draw them, but larger, so I couldn't copy them, but it would take me hours and hours, and I haven't done it in years, but it's something I would really love to do. And that was just, with the pencil on an art page, so I've never ever tried to do any type of painting. It's scary.
You know what? It is scary at first, but I have to say, having the courage to do this here with the shop, being encouraged by Jodi, she's even actually working on me to put together a workshop for people.
Yes, you should. I would do it for sure.
I would love it. I would love it if you would come, but I for sure am going to do a small class, probably about 6 people, and just teach people the basics, and then have them go from there, because I always say just follow how you feel inside while you're doing something, and you'll get different ideas as you keep developing that. It's quite amazing. It's good.
And it's something that I would like to try, because even I've been doing knitting since I was about 7 years old, crocheting since I was I was pregnant and I was 23 and I was just too big to sit there with the long knitting needles. So I'd lean over, but I've never been able to do it without a pattern. I haven't expressed my creativity that way. So maybe doing something like painting might bring that out a little bit.
And that's the case. I find it doesn't matter what type of art you follow. One of the ladies that I follow online even said, even if you don't have the time to actually do the art, spend 30 minutes in your space, whether it's cleaning, whether you're going through fine-tuning things, she said that's still 30 minutes in your space. 30 minutes a day of doing something, sketching, doodling. She said, I found this very helpful. And this is why I think it's going to stay with me, because sometimes you're not inspired to work on a certain piece that you're working on, or you'll have these half pieces that are finished. And it's all about going back to them when you feel like touching them again.
With knitting, that's the same thing when it comes to socks.
Oh.
They say when you do the one sock, you need to do the second sock right after, because it's so easy to just say, I'll put it aside and I'll start something else because, I need something different. But then you always end up with just one sock.
You don't finish it. Oh my gosh.
It is so much fun though. But my thing is I'm scared to try new things because I have that fear of success, because I don't want to be good at one more thing, because then I'm going to become obsessed with it. And
see, I look at it as if I create something that someone likes, they get a piece of me. They get a piece of whatever it is. And I always try to keep a positive frame of mind when I'm doing my art to get myself grounded. Sometimes even under my work, I'll write inspire. Before I even start the painting, it'll be in the basic underpinnings of the art. I have a really nice book that my mom had finished. My mom's passed away, and it's about 10 years old, and I keep having these visions that, to photocopy some of her pages with her inspiration and love, and just underpin it to a certain piece, because I've thought about doing lots with
including her in it.
Yes, a mother's love for her daughter, because that's really, those are precious things to me. Then I would like to pass that to people to think about, put your creativity there, but underpin it with something that emotionally that you feel you want to portray or put out there. I'm sure everybody has their own niche, but that's something that speaks to me more and more.
No, I think that is a great idea. And I'm the same way. Like my grandma, she passed away last October. I haven't done a podcast without her with me. These are her ashes and her picture. And it's like, no, I couldn't do it without her, because she was the one that gave me the backbone to try different things and to be a strong person. And I mean, it sounds like your mom was the same way. She loved watching me grow. She was very encouraging and very heartfelt, and she would support me in everything. But she always said, I love the person you're becoming. I love what you're doing. She would always say those kind of things. That's
and
wonderful.
Strong women are important in your life, especially being a woman.
Yes.
And to have that, I have to say, my grandmother, she came from a large family, but she had 14 of her own. So for her having 14 kids,
wow,
she was also a very strong woman who she didn't do a lot outside of the house, but she definitely inspired her kids to do the best they could with what they had.
That's great.
And that's really what I encourage people to do. Is you got to start somewhere.
Do you have a full-time day job, or?
I do. I still have a little bit of time at this full-time day job. But you know what? Next year will be a different story.
Yeah, because, you have your full-time day job, and then you do your art, and then you do the work with your husband.
Yeah. And that really has helped to inspire me to do that.
Yes.
He bought me a camera so I could shoot like him with the same
How do you
camera.
like photography?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's an amazing medium. And it is amazing because people always say when they come up to our booth, if we're vending or whatever, oh, that's really nice. Is that yours or is that hers or whatever? Sometimes we forget whose is whose because we put so many pictures out. But I always say, because I'm the more inexperienced, with panoramic photography, I'm talking about I'll say our company, J&J Temple Photography and more. But with panoramic photography, my gaps are kind of bigger and more sporadic.
Yes.
His are even. He's been doing it so long, and they're nice. And with mine, but once you put the whole picture together, the scene, you don't even see that.
Oh, exactly.
But he'll say, I know that one's yours because it's like this. And exactly. And it's all good.
I know me and my husband, we have Clear Rock Studios and we do photography as well. And he's more of the technical guy and I'm more of the, if I see something I like, I'm just going to take a picture of it. And I love doing events and just catching those secret moments between people. It's fun to have that with your spouse.
Absolutely. You know what? He opened up a whole new world.
Same with mine. He bought me the camera and it was...
Okay, I'm 53. I'll be 54 in September.
Yep.
You don't know what you're missing if you don't have a camera,
yep.
or you've never tried it, or had. It's just amazing. It opens up, especially with digital today,
yes.
right?
Yes.
You can erase it. You don't like it. You can do the new one. You know, it's
exactly.
all amazing.
That's why I think in this podcast, YQG and Bloom, I always say that it's about small businesses in the Windsor-Essex County area, but I really resonate towards creative individuals and artisans and crafters because that's been my heart from when I was little. And it's great. And I want to thank you so much for being here today, Jen.
Thank you. I appreciate this. I just want to say one thing before I finish. You know, for people who don't understand, who think they don't have any art, natural art talent or whatever, you know, I'm here to challenge that, to say, no, you do. Believe in yourself. Just go. Even if you don't have any, take some paint parties. What I love about artists or people who get what it's like to be an artist is the fact that we all, like the camera, have our own lens. And we can all sit at the same paint party and we can all look at the same photo and we're all going to paint it or draw it, and it all turns out relatively different.
Exactly.
But unique to us. And that's how art is supposed to be. Unique to us.
Exactly.
Our expression of that piece or that drawing or that plant or that picture. You know, we can all take pictures of, I'm going to say the house that's on Highway 3, that famous house that everybody takes a picture of. It's so beautiful.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. And it's about your unique eye and your individuality and bringing that in to express your modality of expression, whether it's photography or whatever.
Oh, I hear you. I mean, I'm going to be 53 this year.
Yeah.
Stop being scared of doing things. We don't know what the future holds. So try something. And this is my trying something new. And you never know. It might just work, you know, and you might end up with something fun to do on top of the boring day job.
Absolutely. And this is amazing. This is what gives me excitement. This is what keeps me going. The fact that I could come and do this today, honestly, this is amazing. I love this.
It's fun.
I'm so thankful that you're here and that we're able to talk about art in our business and that you are interviewing, and I appreciate that.
Yes, and I need to get the people out in the world to listen to this and maybe find, you know, their own creativity. It might give them ideas of different things that they can try and they can do and help them find their niche and their happiness.
Yes. We all have it within us, just a matter of expression. I've never crocheted. I don't know if I would be good at it. I can't say that it's anything that I have aspired to do.
Yes.
But that's the great thing about art. It doesn't matter what you do. My mom was a huge crocheter.
Yeah.
She was a huge knitter. Those were her things. So everybody, I think it's important to have those outlets, don't you?
Yes. As I was telling your husband, I'm the type that I cannot sit in front of the TV or else I'm going to fall asleep. So that's when my crocheting comes out or my knitting. And I've been doing that since my gram taught me when I was about 7 years old. And beadwork before then. I literally have done everything except for painting and woodworking.
Wow.
So
awesome.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun.
That's good.
Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. I want to thank you. And this is Jen Wilkes from Jen Wilkes-Temple Art. Now, did you say you were online?
I'm on Instagram and
You're
Facebook.
on Instagram and Facebook, but we can find her at Terra Green Gardens here on Dalhousie Street in Amherstburg. and you definitely have to get out here to the open air streets in Amherstburg. It's amazing. It's until the first weekend in September. So we're here from Friday nights I'm not here, but the streets are closed down from Friday night until Sunday. So again, my name is Tracy Martins, and thank you for joining me for another episode of YQG in Bloom. You guys have a great day.